Okay, let's start our question number 1. Okay, let's check question number 1. Which of the following sets of ordered pairs define a function? We define a function if there is no x coordinate or the x coordinate must not be repeated. So let's check our choices. For letter A, the x coordinates are -3, -2, -1, and -2. We notice that -2 is repeated twice. So, letter A is wrong. How about letter B? 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, letter B is our answer because our x coordinate does not repeat. Okay, and you can take a look at the letter C and letter D. In letter C, 0 is repeated twice as our domain. And for letter D, 1 is repeated twice. So the correct answer in number 1 is B. Next, number 2. Which of the following graph shows for every value of x, there is only one value of y? So in here, we're going to use the vertical line test. You can check our playlist to understand the vertical line test. So in this case, our answer is letter B. And now let us proceed to number 3. Which of the following arrow diagrams shows that y is a function of x? So we're dealing with the correspondence. We know that a function can be one-to-one or one-to-many. So in this case, letter A is not our answer because our correspondence is many to one. Letter B, we have many to one. That's not a function. For letter C, we have one to many. So that is a function. So the answer in number 3 is letter C. And letter D, that is many to one, which is not a function. So number 1 is B, number 2 is B, number 3 is C. Next, number 4. Which of the following graph does not define a function? We're going to use does not define. So we're going to use the vertical line test because this is a graph. And notice that the only graph in number 4 that does not define a function is letter D, dog. Why? Because if we're going to use the vertical line test, it will touches the graph twice. Okay? Next, number 5. Find the value of f of x. So we're going to solve this. F of x is equal to 4x squared plus 3x minus 15 when x is -2. So let us solve. F of x is equal to 4x squared plus 3x minus 15 when x is equal to -2. So substitute the value of x. So 4 times -2 squared plus 3 times -2 minus 15. 4 times -2 squared, that is positive 4. Positive 3 times -2, that is -6. Then copy minus 15. Now we have 4 times 4, 16, minus 6, minus 15. 16 minus 6, that is 10. Minus 15, negative 5. So when x is negative 2, the function will give us negative 5. So that is letter D. Done. So let us write our answer here. Number 1 is B. Number 2, B. Number 3, C. Number 4, D. Number 5 is D. And now let's proceed in number 6. Find the range given the function f of x is equal to x over 2 plus 3, where x is an element of 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. So we have the function f of x is equal to x over 2 plus 3. Then x an element of 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. We're going to find f of x. So let us substitute. If we have f of 0, that will give us 0 over 2 plus 3. 0 divided by 2, that is 0, plus 3. What is 0 plus 3? That is 2. If we have f of 2, we have 2 over 2 plus 3. 2 over 2, that is 1, plus 3, that will give us 3. Next, f of 4, that is 4 over 2 plus 3. 4 divided by 2, that is 2 plus 3. 1 plus 3 is 4. Okay, sorry for that. 2 plus 3 is 5. And 6, notice a pattern. 2, 4, 3, 4, 5. Of course, we have 6 and 7. So that is letter 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Letter D. Letter D for number 6. Next, number 7. Given f of x is equal to x raised to 4 minus 1 and g of x is equal to x minus z, which of the following value corresponds to f composed of g of 3? We're going to solve. So we have f composed of g of 3. So this is the same as f of g of 3. So f of, what is our g of 3? So let's get g of x. So we have g of x is x minus 2. So x minus 2, this is 2. So we have 3 minus 2. So now we have f of 1. Okay. Just change the x to our value, which is 3. So 3 minus 2, that is 1. Now let us find f of 1. In number 7, f of x is equal to x raised to 4 minus 1. So we're going to find f of 1. So 1 raised to 4 minus 1. Now, 1 raised to 4, that is 1. Minus 1 will give us 0. So f composed of g of 3 is equal to 0. So number 7 is letter C. Okay, that is number 7. Next, number 8. Number 8, given f of x is equal to 3x over x minus 2 and g of x is equal to 2x minus 1 over x minus 2, what value of x will make the product of f of x and g of x undefined? So to make our function undefined, let us equate the denominator to 0. For f of x, our denominator is x minus 2. So we have x minus 2 is equal to 0. Therefore, for f of x, x is equal to 2. How about in g of x? The denominator is x minus 2 equate to 0. So x is equal to positive. To make the functions undefined, the value of x must be 2. So number 8 is letter C. So 1 to 8. We're now in number 9, in answering periodic tests of general mathematics. The question in number 9 is, when f of x is equal to 3x over x minus 2 and g of x is equal to 5x plus 4 over x minus 1, which of the following expressions can be equated to f of x over g of x? So we're going to find f of x all over g of x. So let us solve. F of x over g of x. Okay. We know that f of x is equal to 5x minus 2 over x minus 1. F of x is 5x minus 2 over x minus 1. All over, g of x is 5x plus 4 all over x minus 1. Okay. So we're going to simplify. We have a rational expression in our numerator. So copy 5x minus 2 all over x minus 1. So this is a division. So proceed in multiplication. Then get the reciprocal of our denominator. The denominator is, or the reciprocal of our denominator is x minus 1 all over 5x plus 4. And now, let us use cancellation method. So we can cancel x minus 1, x minus 1. And our final answer is 5x minus 2 all over 5x plus 4. We cannot cancel 5 and 5, 2 and 4. Why? Because our numerator and denominator are single expressions. This is a binomial and a binomial. We cannot cancel 5, cancel 5, cancel x, cancel x. We cannot do that. That is a wrong process or wrong way in solving in mathematics. Okay? So, our number 11 is letter B. And now we are in number 10. The question in number 10 is, what values of x will make f of x is equal to g of x? where f of x is equal to x squared and g of x is equal to x plus 6. So we're going to find f of x is equal to g of x. Our first step, we need to substitute the given functions. For f of x, our value is x squared. So change f of x to x squared. And our g of x is x plus 6. Just substitute. And now, since this is raised to 2, we know that this is a quadratic function. So let us equate to 0. Oh, this will make a quadratic function or quadratic equation. Okay. Equate to 0, so x will become negative x. Positive 6 will become negative 6. Okay. And now, let us factor out. The factors are x. Let us use the shortcut. Factors of negative 6, the sum must be negative 1. So that is negative 3 and positive 2. So negative 3 times positive 2, that is negative 6. Negative 3 times 2, that is negative 3 plus 2, that is negative 1. Equate to 0. Equating to 0, 2 is equal to 0. So our x is equal to transpose positive 3, x is equal to negative 2. So the following numbers, or the following are the values of x that will make our functions equal. X is 3 and x of 2, negative 2. So for number 10 is letter C. Letter C. Okay? Now let's try number 11. Which of the following is an example of rational function? So let us solve number 11 here. Rational function. So the answer is letter B. Why letter B? Letter A, that is a rational equation because that is equated to 3. Okay. Letter A is rational equation. Letter B, that is a rational function. Why? Because we have f of x on the left side. Function of x. And letter C, this is a rational inequality. And of course, letter D is also rational inequality. So number 11 is B. F of x is equal to 5x minus 2 all over x minus 1. We're now in number 12. The question is, which of the figures illustrate the graph of the equation f of x is equal to, so f of x is equal to 3 times x minus 2 squared. Okay. Our exponent is 2. So we know that the graph is a curve or parabola. Let us find the vertex of our parabola. So the parabola, to find the vertex, just equate to 0. So x is equal to positive 2. And for y, since we have a value here, that is understood that this is plus 0. plus k. That is our k. So our y is 0. Therefore, if we're going to find the coordinates, that is positive 2 and 0. And if we are going to graph in our Cartesian plane, where is positive 2, 0? So positive 2, 1, 2, then 0. And since this is a positive, our coefficient or the value of a is positive, so our graph must be like this one. Okay, so that is letter B. Again, number 12 is letter B. For number 13, the question is, which of the following is not a characteristic of the graph of f of x is equal to x squared plus 9? Take a look at our given. So our value of a is positive. So we know that if a is positive, that is open upward. So in number 13, the answer is letter C. It opens onward. That is not a characteristic of f of x is equal to x squared plus 9. Again, number 13 is letter C. And for number 14, which of the following represents the inverse of f of x is equal to 12x? So let us solve. F of x is equal to 12x. Inverse function. So our first step, change f of x to y. Is equal to 12x. Next step, interchange x and y. So our y will become x and our x will become y. And now solve for y. To solve for y, divide the equation by 12 by 12. Now we have y is equal to x minus 12. Or x over 12 is equal to y. Commutative property, they are equal or the same. Let us find our table of values. Okay, let us create our table of values. So we have x and y. For x, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, let us substitute. If x is 1, so we have y is equal to, if x is 1, just substitute 1 over 12, that is 1 over 12. Y is 1 over 12. If y is 2, if x is 2, so we have 2 over 12, reduced in lowest terms, so this is 1 over 6. Divided by 2, so that is 1. 12 divided by 2, that is 6. So 1 over 6. If x is 3, so we have 3 over 12. 3 divided by 3, that is 1 over 12 divided by 3, 1 over 4. And if x is 4, so we have 4 over 12. So this is 1 over 3. 1 over 3. So number 14 is letter B. And now for number 15, the question is, find inverse of x given that f of x is equal to 5x minus 8 is 1 to 1. Okay, we're going to solve f of x is equal to 5x minus 8. First step, change f of x to y. So y is equal to 5x minus 8. And now, interchange x and y. So our y will become x, and our x will become y. And now, solve for y. To solve y, transpose 8, this will become x plus 8 is equal to 5y. The negative 8, if you're going to move on our left side, will become positive 8. So, x plus 8 is equal to 5y. Just copy. To find y, we need to divide by 5. Now we have x plus 8 over 5 is equal to y. To write our inverse, that is f raised to negative 1 of x is equal to x plus 8 all over 5. This is now our inverse. For number 15, that is letter B. B again.